Once again, a huge thank you to all of our financial supporters. Firstly, our supporters over at patreon.com/878survivor.fm, all of our production managers. We cannot thank you all enough for your continued ongoing support. All of your names are there on the screen right now. A big shout out to our producer, Red Freedom. Mate, 18 months, you're an absolute mad lad. Cannot thank you enough. Also, we have to give a big shout out to all of our growing YouTube members, all of our new tier, the Emote Bandits, our existing tier, the 87.8 Survivors, and a special shout out to our podcast bosses, whose names are again all on the screen right there. I cannot thank you all enough. Please keep up the support. It helps our show go on each and every week, and we get to do great giveaways, and our end of year Christmas episode is going to be an absolute cracker this year, folks. All the best, and we hope you enjoy this week's show.
And we're live, everybody. Episode 126 of the DayZ Podcast. How's everyone doing? Cobra, Lemons, you doing all right?
Yo, how you doing, guys? Yeah, very fine. Very good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Lemons, are you alive?
Potentially.
Potentially, we'll take that. And that'll be like the only thing he'll say during this entire show.
All right, see you guys later.
Right, see you later. Thanks for your participation. Really appreciate it.
I'm well there, mate.
Oh,
but no, I'm
bloody
not
hell.
doing too bad though. Glad to be here finally. So
Where were you last week? It was my debut return in Cobra's first stream, and you weren't here. I was disappointed.
I was in Brazil.
There you go. That's a good answer, that is.
It's a shit answer. Where were you? No, man, I'm really, really happy you're here. And hello, everybody in chat. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. A lot of cool stuff's been happening in the community. Hope everyone has been doing great. Stubmer from Darkwing, Skill Speeder, King Alabar, Angry Monkey, Mick. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, it's been a really good week. What you guys been up to? What you been doing?
Go on, Lemons. You go first.
Oh gosh. Having fun with DayZ Editor and
Right,
the
as usual.
absolutely
Yes.
amazing improvement that the bugs have given it, just making it a much better experience.
Beautiful.
No, but
Fantastic.
luckily, Dad's working on a hot fix for some issues I was pointing out to him, so I'm
That's
hoping to get
good.
some stuff worked out pretty soon. But
Nice. Does the scale
Yeah, what about you?
scale stuff work yet?
it does, but there's an issue when you're modifying stuff like the yaw pitch and roll of an object. When you have it scaled, it'll just default to -90, and it will just start like breaking. And I think it's the way the math is done when you're doing the object placement in the editor, because it's not like that once you export it, but it's a mess when you're actually doing it in there. But Dad's gonna be giving out a hot fix pretty soon for that, so fingers crossed.
Fix your
Nice.
goddamn mud.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. I'm glad that you've been busy. What about yourself, Cobra? What you been up to this week?
Well, okay. So, apart from the obvious working on the latest video, so I've been looking at the first-person hardcore no-base adventure servers,
Right.
and a lot of call for that at the moment. So, as you would expect, we've been out and had a little look at a few of those, and we've got some positive feedback from some of that. Some interesting feedback. So, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Other than that, yeah.
Very nice. Good stuff. I've been working my ass off. God,
Did I
my
forget to
job.
say that?
Oh God, my bloody job is going to kill me. No, but it's been a productive week. It's been really, really busy. I've been like catching up on like lost time, so I'm getting to work at like 8 o'clock, being up at like 6 in the morning every day this week. I'm shattered. It's not like me. Usually I get to sleep like 1, 2 in the morning because I can't sleep, so I'm like running on fumes. But it's a good thing that I brought this baby back.
Here we go. Look.
As you can see, it's already half empty. Got the iron brew back. I was having a bit of a craving earlier this week. I was like, oh, should I get myself like a crate, like the 8 cans or something like that, like 6, 8 cans, and I thought, let's have that.
You sound like an alcoholic, lad. Not alcoholic.
Well,
An
it's funny
alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Yeah.
It's funny you should say that, because I did actually buy some like whiskey. It's downstairs.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And, you know, I got the whiskey and I got the elixir for it.
So
The audio
Richard Chase then.
audio is still low like last time. Is it just me, or I don't know? Is the audio all right for everybody? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Let us know. Let
Coming
us
through
know.
pretty good for me.
Yeah,
Curious.
it's good for me. Good for me.
Right. Okay, Stud, you're just going deaf. You're going deaf. Get your ears checked out. Nice to see everybody in. Nice to see everybody in. So I'm actually really curious. What servers you been looking into, Cobra? What you been doing there?
Well, I should first say, obviously, working hard as well. So got that out of the way. Now, back onto
Nice.
servers. So, yeah, I've been. One of them was Day One. Now, I think a lot of you
Yeah,
would have probably heard
everybody knows
of
that.
Day One. So
Yeah.
there you go. But they've got the new Winter Cherno map. So we thought we'd have a look at that. And some really brand new, like unknown, like brand new servers that have come out in the last couple of days. So what the kind of feel I'm getting right now, and the feedback I've been given anyway by quite a few people, is that that's the next little craze that people are trying to get into and have a look. One of them, obviously, was the Memento Mori One Life
Yeah.
Bard. So I did a little stream on that last week. Got up to Tizzy, killed myself. And said, there you go. Come and get all of the weapons and gear I've managed to get. Off you go. So
Well, there you go.
I think there is a massive. There's been a massive change. I think I say massive. Getting there. There's a big momentum going there for a lot more of those, and I've seen a lot more of those servers pop up. So yeah, go check them out. Go check them out.
Absolutely. I mean, I know we quite some time ago we had somebody who was doing a one life only kind of server for the console side. So, and you know, quite a few people's tried it on both PC and console. I'm still yet to hear like what's the reception been like so far, but the fact is that, like, you know, Memento Mori is still going on must mean, you know, there's some interest there. Definitely.
Well, I did hear. Before I went on there, I kind of put it out to the community, and I did get some mixed feedback to begin with. So some of the feedback initially was that that particular server, which I enjoyed, by the way, I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
It was too hard before, apparently, by some. Then the one I did, some of the feedback was it become a little easier. And there was a kind of a mix kind of bad. It wasn't really. It was quite balanced, shall we say? So
Right.
For that particular server, the feedback I got was, yeah, a lot of people, 50% loved it, 50% said it changed a little bit over the last whatever it was from season 1 to season 2. But overall, very positive. I actually thought it was very good, to be fair.
Right. Okay. And how long did you play on it for?
So my live stream lasted for about 2 hours. Now, the kind of changes that I've seen, because I played it before. I played it once before in season 1, and I died. Didn't get very far. Season 2 got right to Tizzy, whatever. As you start off on your spawn point, so you kind of got the Molsk feel on Cherno Winter kind of map. So everything to begin with, food-wise, the limited you could find was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we had to work around that. But as you went further north, every other bit of food I found then was actually not frozen. So I guess the kind of feel they've gone for is hard beginning. If you can survive that, then depending on where you go, north-wise or area-wise, town-wise, then it may become a little easier. In terms of weapons, now that's an interesting one. So they are hard to come by. The best I got away with was right at the last minute was a KAM up at Tizzy. Other than that, I was running with absolute rubbish all the way up there. Shotgun,
So
double barrel. Yeah.
Pretty much, if you got approached, that would have been it.
Well, yeah, I'd either had to hit bang on 100%. Otherwise, I was in a bit of a mess. I should
Game
imagine.
over. Absolutely.
Yeah. But to be fair, the pop on it though, I was quite surprised. Well, should I be surprised? I'm not sure. So the pop on it, I kept getting asked on the stream, "What's the pop now? What's the pop now?" So I kept flicking. To be fair, because you get banned, obviously,
Yeah.
the second you die, it obviously is no surprise that it wasn't very high pop. So you're talking literally 2-3 people on it at any one time. That may change. I haven't been around long enough on that server to see if it fluctuates, but the 2 times I've been on there's been like 2-3 people at the same time, which I suppose would make sense, wouldn't it? Because
It would.
you get banned, so fair enough. But interaction-wise, very, very limited for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I can imagine like playing on the server and just hiding. Even if I see somebody in like Gorga or something like that, I'll be like, "Yeah, no, I ain't going in there."
Do you know what? I think you'd be waiting for a couple of weeks, mate. To be fair, so it might not be the most productive way of playing that. But the one thing I did find that was quite surprising, I thought originally, my first question was, so if I have to log out or if I get kicked off the server for any other reason, like internet issue, it does that class as a death. And you'll be pleased to know that no, it doesn't. So you can log out. So, although some, as soon as you're out, that's it, you're done. But this one, you can log out. So, yeah. But I'm not sure what Lemons has got to say on the console side of it. He may have experienced something a bit different. I'm not sure.
A little bit. I mean, it's not actually like an official Memento Mori server. Like, it's not done by the same people, but it uses the same concept where it's like a one life, you get killed, you get banned. But I can say for sure the population is a stark contrast from what you've been saying on PC. Because
really?
I believe it's either a 20 or a 30 slot, and it's usually around medium to high pop most of the time.
Oh, nice.
So it's an interesting experience, and being able to like bridge that gap and keep that experience between PC and console, I think is a crucial thing because it allows everyone to have like that equal opportunity to experience that, And I think that just having that experience at all is amazing because it just gives you a new challenge in DayZ and a reason to come back and play it. So
yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with you, mate, 100%. I think the thought of you have one opportunity and then you're banned till next season, which could be 6 months, could be a year, whatever it is. I think it's 6 months, roughly. Then you are approaching that game very differently.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
So, but interesting, though, Lemons. Very popular pop-wise from console to PC. But then again, maybe I would have jumped on it at a time where I think it was a weekday about 3 p.m., 3 p.m. So a lot of people have been at work.
Yeah.
Maybe it did get higher later. Not sure.
See, I'm like the outlier. Like, I find the concept interesting, but I just find it very difficult for, like, how would you be able to, like, I mean, obviously they're kind of proven us wrong. Like, how would you be able to keep a server going when most people are banned because they've died? It's like, how can you keep a regular player base going? It's definitely a passion project, like pushing the limits of like the concept of playing DayZ. Like, what can you actually do to keep like things interesting and keep like the value of your character to like the utmost highest priority. It's definitely good how they've done it.
I'll tell you what I thought about. So obviously I didn't die from any other reason other than just saying, you know what, that's it. I'm going to give someone else a chance to get this gear. But I was thinking, I was asking the question halfway through my stream. I was thinking, okay, let's put it out there. What if we don't die at the end of this? We get the tizzy, we're good. What if we build a little base on here and just log out when we need to log out, log in when we want to log in, and go running about? Do you know what? Obviously, I didn't find any bases on there, but I didn't search the whole map. But ultimately, I think if you're going to be running around the woodland, then there's a high possibility you could have some easy little stashes put about.
Oh, easy.
And you could last on there for ages based on the population. So, but then it might be different for Lemons on his console side. So it is a possibility. I reckon you could stay alive on there for quite some time,
Oh,
once you've got geared.
Once you got geared, that's pretty much it. Then again, that's kind of like the fear factor is like at the top right there. Like, okay, I've spent all this time, I've got all this gear. I really don't want to die.
But that's an interesting question, though. I mean, maybe we should put it out there. anyone who jumps onto the podcast at some point or watches it over the next week, be interested to hear who has survived the longest. How long have you survived on a one life server before? That's going to be interesting to see what comes back from that.
I'll have to actually play one to be able to answer that. 5 minutes. Probably. No, my bloody luck. But no, it's always really interesting how, like, you know, people can find a server that does kind of like keep them interested in the game. Because, you know, there's a lot of different servers out there. I mean, there's tons of servers out there now. And a lot of them are pretty similar to each other. They've all got, like, you know, similar concepts and how things are run, similar mod sets and whatever else. And I can imagine make things a bit boring, but playing on those kind of servers would definitely be interesting. Yes, Harold Hermit, we're talking about Memento Mori. Spawns and gets headshot immediately 2 seconds. Yeah, pretty much my luck.
Yeah.
I was just looking in the course, be like, let's get going. And then I get like gas or something.
Oh, season one, right? I died within, I think it was like 14 minutes. I was dead. So I was like, you're joking, and it was live as well.
Me. I remember when Gecko Fish actually uploaded a video on like him playing Memento Mori, and it was tragic. it was so funny. Definitely one of the funniest videos he's done, but it was just tragic. It was like, oh my god, bless his heart. Just the sheer the sheer pain.
Yeah. The worst bit is getting to a well, right? Trying to fill up on water because they've deliberately put like a collection of zombies near those areas,
Yes.
so in a woodland as well. So you know you've got to go to it, but they're strong as well. So good luck.
Good luck, boy. Hey, yes. Sawyer, thanks for coming at the stream. Much appreciated, my guy. But yeah, I mean, I try to get in my fair share of playing on some DayZ servers, trying to get back on life. They're actually going to be doing like an Amolsk event at some point soon. Doing another expedition to Lantier, I think, so I need to try and get on that. I did see somebody on Twitter talk about a fishing event.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
And I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, it's great to team up and kill each other, like you have in the Queens of the Castle and stuff like that. But I'm just like, an honest man just wants to fish. Let's see how much you can catch.
It'd be interesting though, mate, because surely they would want to have the fish mods on there. Because otherwise you're just going to be catching mackerel or bloody carp, innit? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Or if you've been really naughty, you got your bottle one, and you can get the
sardine things, whatever they are, the little
the bitters.
Ones.
There you go.
Yeah. But I think in 4,500 hours I might have fished twice. You know what it is? I mean, it could just be me. I'm not too sure, but I find fishing in DayZ very therapeutic. I don't know what it is. I could even be like, my stomach's full. I've got plenty of hydration, energy, and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, this is nice. This is great. And then I hear like running coming up behind us, and then I'm like, absolutely shitting myself. I quite like fishing in DayZ. I really do.
Spoken like a true PvEer. There you go.
I love the PvE aspect of the game. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at PvP. I'll embrace it, but PvE, yeah. I love fishing. It's relaxing unless it's a hardcore server and I get fucking wellies on my last hook. I mean...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Actually, I should create like a little joke mod where you make a food item and it is the wellies. You can still eat them. It makes it sick.
That'd be horrible, mate. That'd be horrible. Everyone would die, wouldn't they? They would proper die.
Mate, yeah.
Loads of deaths.
Worth it though. Probably fish about every run. Yeah, probably. But I know I like the fishing. I really, really do.
What's it like, Lemons, on console fishing wise? Is it very similar? I've not played console for a few years now.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I'd say earlier on, like within like the earlier version of the console edition, it was a bit different. But even then, I think they tried really hard, even in the like the preview version, to keeping the parity between both platforms. And I can say for
Mhm.
sure now that it's 1-to-1. So I don't think a lot of people do it much on console because I think most people are either trying to kill each other and just eat each other, or just like
Lovely.
do that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, because I think people who are more focused on like the survival or hardcore experience will fish a lot on console. But for the
Yeah.
general community, I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be talking on my ass right now, but as far as I've seen, I don't think a lot of people focus on it much, or necessarily know how to. So it'd be an interesting thing to touch on, because I know that we've gotten a lot of new stuff in regards to fishing traps and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see them potentially maybe update their trailer they have. Because I'm not sure if they have it on PC, but there's a little trailer cutscene on the console version that you can watch, and it shows you a little tutorial on how to do like some basic things within the game. So I wouldn't mind seeing that get updated for some of the new features and mechanics, because I don't think they've updated it once, like since it got released.
Typical. Well, see, it's actually a good footnote there, because it's like, obviously, the title of the stream, where could 120 take us? There's a lot of this year's been absolutely amazing for updates. A lot of really cool stuff introduced. A lot of unexpected things. Talking at your ass, coming to 120. Hell yeah. But before we obviously continue on with that topic, I mean, we need to do show like the leaked 120 trailer that's come out.
Oh, of course.
Let's have a look.
It's really great, and honestly, like, the attention to detail the devs put into it. But anyway, let's have a look here.
Peggy 18.
Well,
Honestly, like I said, the attention to detail is it's beautiful. I had to show that that video off. I'm gonna post it in chat. Sub like like it, view it, whatever. It is funny as hell. Really enjoyed it.
It does look pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah.
Base building update. I mean, people's been asking about it for a long while. We finally got it.
Mate, you know me. It's exactly what I've been talking about.
Why I do? Why I? Just take. A lot of companies take a page out of Fortnite's book, and I think it's time that DayZ does the same. It's a full circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this year's been really great for updates, but I am excited for 120, even though it is a minor update. But the reason why I personally am excited is because in 115, the last minor update of last year, we got a fan requested weapon, the orb. We got that back, plus the A3 version, or AX, I should say. So, do you think they're going to follow the same route this year? Like, do you think they're going to bring back like a requested weapon feature or something like that back as a nice little Christmas present?
What do you think, Lemons?
I feel like that seems rather biased, lad. Not gonna lie.
Biased? Biased?
Yeah.
Mate, I wouldn't have said biased. Like, I mean, I don't know what you're on about. I mean, I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
About a certain like pistol gun, or no, definitely not. No.
No. Shh. Shut the.
But yeah, no, it would be cool though, because I know there's definitely a lot of A lot of weapons that have been kind of kicking around within the files that they haven't
Mhm.
removed yet, and they are just kind of in there. I definitely love to see stuff like the dart gun make its way back into the game, or like the non-lethals, like the taser or the dart gun, and see
Yeah.
how they would implement
Yeah.
that, because it's very interesting, you know. And I mean, the assets are still there, you know, so why not just make use of them instead of leave them in there? I mean, I guess it also comes down to balancing as well, but it gives us more content, and it gives us new ways to play the game. Because imagine doing like a stealth run, like this sounds like the top fresh spawns video idea, running around with like a dart gun, incapacitating freshies and like kidnapping them or something like that.
That would actually be sick. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Just go like full Metal Gear on them.
Metal Gear. Jesus.
There
What
was a
about-
lot of talk, went there, around the new civilian type potential guns, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Really, I think you're right though, Lemons, around the non-lethal. I do like the sound of that.
I mean, I think this update should be a nice balance. I think they should bring out, you know, a fan requested lethal weapon, and they should start to introduce the non-lethals. Is to kind of like, you know, this is what we're going to be starting to focus in the new year. You know, because, you know, I've kind of talked about it in a previous episode. Will like the next year be like the last year of DayZ? Because it's been out for like the concept has been out for like 10 years at this point, but the game's coming up to like 10 years itself, roughly about that. It's about 8-9 years. You think, you know, that's a long time for this game. And so do you think that they're going to start to wrap up getting all the missing stuff back in, or they're going to keep introducing more cool things? That's what I'm kind of like interested in. But I mean, personally, bows and arrows are great. That's fine. I think in taser guns and dart guns, I think that's real awesome. But stripper clips, dude. Like, I want a stripper clip from the SKS. I want to use that gun again. I don't want to have to spend like
I mean,
5
they're still in the files, you know, and they still have semi functionality. But it'd be cool to see them finally finish it, because you can technically use them to reload a weapon, but it only does it per round, and they never really finished the functionality, or it just got broken within the updates. But
Oh, that's it. And there's still the floating bullet's still there. The floating bullet is still there when you do certain things with the gun for the SKS. Bruh, please get rid of the bullet or bring us stripper clips. Please. Just a couple of comments here I want to go through. Lad9, fair enough. Yep. I mean, as for weapons, I think we'd get a bow and arrow, possibly crossbow, pistol grip M133. Oh, mate, the pistol grip shotgun. Oh, beautiful gun. I think, in my opinion, they need to give your character more weight, not so much gear fear, but what about you losing skills that have taken you a long time to get? Some actually useful skills. That would be great if those skills actually worked properly, which they never have, which is a shame. It really is a shame. His crazy idea, maybe fix what we have now and then new guns or vehicles. See, okay, this comment here, like, Mick, I really appreciate you coming into the chat. I just want to say that. Thanks for, you know, popping in. I really do appreciate it. But this comment right here, if DayZ team decided, right, we're going to make an update, it's going to add nothing, literally nothing, but it's just going to fix a lot of key issues, a lot of, like, big bugs and glitches, you can guarantee a lot of people will be pissed. They'll be like, are you kidding me? We've waited this long and we haven't even got any content. You've just fixed stuff. Bring new content. And it's like, right, okay, fair enough, no problem at all. More content focused update. And you'd still be pissed. You can't win. You can't win. So, yeah, it's a crazy idea because it's not going to fucking work. In my professional opinion, I'm not a professional whatsoever.
I think there's been so many bugs, which is, I suppose, well, it definitely is part of why people love the game, isn't it? I mean, you've got to whinge. I whinge sometimes, we've got to whinge about these stuff. But without them, how many videos have I put up in the past where I've gone, fuck, I've been caught on a door, I'm dead, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, all right, it is annoying. It is annoying, but I played one yesterday. I kept getting stuck on doors, and I'm sitting there laughing. I don't even bother me anymore. I just laugh. I laugh, and I respawn.
That's what you got to do,
because that's DayZ.
That's it. That's it.
It's gone past caring.
A lot of unintended game features in the game.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Environmental hazards.
Exactly. Yes. There's nothing quite like climbing on top of a ladder and falling from that ladder.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, but I do obviously I do think that the game should be a bit more polished, and there's a lot of different aspects of the game that has been. But yeah, it's like I'm still reading all this here.
I was just going through that comments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know why they would add stripper clips. You can't use them while the scope is in it. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, in my opinion, shut up. No, but in my opinion, I think having stripper clips is something that's going to be like really useful for the game. And there'll be different elements for you to like combine. Or not combine. That's not the right word to use. Change your playstyle a little bit. Like, you use stripper clips. If you're going in, you're going to be like more action oriented, especially like SKS or something like that. Red 9. Maybe in Morzin, if you're going to be using like the sawn off, maybe just as a concept. But then you'll use like the individual bullets if you are sniping. Maybe that could be something. But then again, you can use stripper clips when you use scopes. You just got to do it in a really certain way, and it's a bit weird. But
hear me out, though.
But I'm British,
hear me
so
out,
I don't
though.
use guns. What?
In regards to weapons, this doesn't really count as a weapon. Well, I mean, it rides the line of a weapon, but with the increase of shock, because that's been going all over the place these past few updates, sometimes they turn down the shock time, sometimes they turn it back up, and now that we have like the variable stuff with shock damage and different weapons and calibers and all that, but we should get back the damn defibrillator. Like, that would just be amazing. Like,
mate, you know what? Yeah, okay, that's the main weapon they'll bring back. You know what it is. You know what it is. I reckon. This is going to be so funny. If they do bring back the defib, they'll introduce it in the video as like the Yellow King is lying there in the rubble, and like the guy in red comes in. He's got the defib and revives him. Like, fucking there you again.
that'd be amazing.
What's happened there?
I think he shocked himself.
There you go. He's defibbed himself. That hasn't worked very well, that.
No, it didn't. Like, it didn't. The stream box isn't updating. Let me just double check that is.
Yeah, Ice has just said issue with the stream box, and I think we're both a little louder than Lemons.
Strange.
Don't worry, guys. We just got defibbed. Lad housed himself instead of the Yellow King.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Like, you ain't wrong.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's going to be the Iron Brew he's been bloody banging all day, isn't it? That's what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Aye. Of course
He's
it is.
knocked himself out with it nearly. Anyway. Anyway.
Okay, that is events. That box is there. Just give us a second, lads. Just trying to fix
Messing
this.
around with the sounding, so we get everyone coming through at the same.
Yeah. Since that. I don't know what's going on with the PC. There's just been so many issues lately. You know what it is? I updated Windows today. In that always breaks something.
I absolutely messed up my Go XLR mini bloody sound system. I was getting all kinds of stupid stuff out on audio. On videos as well, for Christ's sake. So anyway, there we go. You're not the only one that's had sound issues.
That's not good. That's not good. That's okay. This is really.
Just reading your comments, Angry. Bear with us, mate. Pitchfork can only be used as a weapon at the moment. Be cool if it could be used in other ways also. As you know, I hate that bloody pitchfork. Hate it with a passion. A little animation. I mean, I was hitting someone. Well, I wasn't actually. I was stabbing someone with it the other week, and it didn't actually do anything. Didn't actually cut them. I hate it. I don't even look. I don't even pick it up. Spearfish. There you go. There's a good one to add in. There's a good use for it.
Oh, absolutely. What the hell's going on? Sorry, this is completely confused me. There we go. I'll use that word. It seems like the chat's just completely bugged. Bear with. Sorry. It's kind of annoying, actually.
I was just reading Michael's comment. Michael was talking about having small groups of AI roaming around. Yeah,
that would actually be pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I was on a server a little while ago that had ghillie AIs. That was interesting. Oh, there you go. It says the chat on screen hasn't been working all straight. To be fair, mine's coming. I don't know what's happening because mine's coming through on the chat fine, but I guess.
Like on the stream itself, I know.
Yeah.
Actually, so.
Oh, Josie. Garfunkel. Here we go. How you doing?
Oh, welcome on in, Jose. Hope you're doing well.
Just keep chatting amongst yourselves, guys, while I fix this. I got it. I don't got it.
Just looking at this chat. So, what else we've got in here at the moment? What's Mickey say? Console. Some of the tools. Melee weapons having more than one or two functions. Yeah, you're probably right with that, Zombie, to be fair. I'll tell you what, I was the crowbar for me has actually become quite useless. I don't know about you boys feel about that, but what do you reckon, Lemons? For me, it has been. I don't even use that anymore either.
The crowbar?
I mean, early game is pretty good. Because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the crowbar do bleed damage too? Like when you hit people with it?
Yeah. But I think it's been dulled down a little bit, I think.
Kinda, but even then, like using that early game as like a freshie, like just on the coast, I've had pretty good experiences with it because you're either left with that, the baseball bat, or the sledgehammer as like my top 3 go-to when I'm on the coast.
Sledge, definitely a sledge. I had an interesting one. Do you remember the shovel used to be OP? Really OP, didn't it? Right? A weeks ago. I got slapped by a shovel yesterday on a stream, right? And it spun me around, and I was unable to even defend myself. I've never seen that before. Is that some kind of mod that's added?
You'll have to kind of repeat that. Sorry, what?
The shovel, right? So I got slapped with a shovel yesterday, right? And it spanned my character around completely. And he was unable, I've never seen it before, and he was unable to even defend himself. So
so you're saying you got stun locked?
Yeah, proper. Yeah. I'm not about just once. I mean, I literally died. It hit me about 7 times before I could even do anything. So yeah, crazy.
That can happen in vanilla. I mean, I've never heard it happen in that bad, like 7 times in a row, but depending on like if you get a guy in a certain position and you just absolutely unleash your inner demons on him, you can totally kind of stun lock him if you're doing like heavies, because it puts you into the that one animation, and if you continue hitting them with that, it's just
you can't get out
exactly.
of it, can you? Yeah. That's what I just said. Yeah, craziness. Anyway, one tap shovel needs to come back. I tell you what, I used to love that. I used to go and take on fully kitted guys with a shovel as a freshie, and do you know what? I'd win a lot of the time. I'd get geared straight away doing that. But now, yeah, sledgy is definitely the way to go, without a doubt.
You know what I'd love to see though come back out as a like a low tier weapon. The rubber police baton.
Oh, okay.
Because that
Yeah.
has been in the server files for a long time, or just the game files in general, and it is currently usable. Like people have it spawned in on servers because it's been in there for I don't even know how long now, but it would be an interesting thing just to be able to put more stuff in the police stations because as it is now,
Yeah.
the only real weapons we have spawning in there is the shotgun and the new rifle, as far as I'm aware. And
Yeah.
other
was
than that, I
gonna
don't think we. Oh, sorry, and the Glock as well.
The
Yeah.
Glock. I was going to say, is the Scorpion still spawning in there or not?
Oh yeah, the Scorpion is
Yeah.
as well. But
Other
other than
than
that, like
that,
we don't have a lot of
yeah.
options for like melee weapons. You know, like there's
No.
we don't like there's the stun batons in the game files. There's the rubber baton, the telescopic baton. Like we have a few of them in there, and they're
Yeah,
just
right.
kind of hanging out. And it would be really interesting to see those kind of come back into the game, be reintroduced by some means because it adds more variety when you're looting a police station. You know, because just imagine how nice it would be to go in there and find that kind of variety of loot. And have a chance of finding like maybe a baton or some other non-lethal like that.
Oh, absolutely, mate. I'm with you 100%. I mean, I think a lot of the times nowadays I go into police stations and other than a stab vest, I'm looking at, you always get your BKs, don't you, or whatever. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Or a pistol. That's it. That's all I find. And even then, finding ammo for that inside the same police station is sometimes a little bit choosy at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, sauerkraut in this chat said the batons do work, and he has them spawned in on some servers. And
Yeah.
they're fun to use. I mean, they're not overpowered. Like
All right.
when they were still in, they were relatively balanced, and even now, they're pretty fun to use if you have them spawned in. But what's that look for, lad?
I hate technical issues. I don't. Okay, so sorry to kind of like. I'm gonna zoom out. Sorry to deviate there. So the YouTube chat will now pop up in place of like the usual chat. We'll get it fixed after the stream. The connection to Streamlabs mustn't be working, so that's probably why it's not popping up. Do apologise. It'll be fixed in the next stream, because Boydie will have to fix that for me. I can't do it. God darn. Batons. Yeah, get them in. You know what we need in terms of melee weapons?
Go for it.
We need the cattle prod. The cattle prod.
Ah.
Oh, that's an old one.
Yeah. I've used that. Yeah, previously. Yeah.
You cannot go wrong with it. It'd be really awesome if it actually could like leave a burn mark. That'd be so funny. Lord. But
you know, it does bring up the question though. You know, we're talking about items, we're talking about weapons, and one thing I was thinking about over the week is, am I the only one that noticed that when you're using weapons and it gets into a ruined state, it doesn't make a sound?
Yeah.
what do
You
you
think
mean?
that when the item gets ruined, it should make a sound? Like that it's breaking or has broken so that a player knows?
I think that's a good call, mate.
That is actually a really good call. I mean, yeah.
Because even with the melee weapons, they'll just drop from the player's inventory. So sometimes you'll be attacking a zombie, you won't even know. And they'll be like, oh wow, my weapon's dropped, what happened? And then it's broken. So just, being able to expand the accessibility of the game for people who may have low vision or anything like that, having that as an option as well, so that they know that the weapon's broken, I mean, makes sense to me.
That is actually a good idea. That would actually be pretty, like, different sound sets depending on the kind of weapon. So if it's like, a heavy weapon's more of a bigger clunk or something like that. But if it's a smaller weapon, maybe it's like, just like little metal snap noise or something like that. Or just something that's clear as like your item is broken kind of thing.
100%.
Well, there you go. There's our...
Yeah.
No, go on. That's cool.
Yeah, okay. I was just going to say, because it would really help, even in like a PvP situation, because if you're like in an intense gunfight and you're like, why is this gun not working anymore? I mean, of course you can look down and see that it's ruined, but in like when you have that adrenaline rush and you're in the moment, you'll start panicking, and actually having that kind of auditory like stimulation or auditory notification that's like, oh crap, my gun's busted, making like maybe like a sound of like the spring or something like that, or some sort of like clanking sound,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's our suggestion to the devs then for this week. That sounds good.
Ever gets out
That's
of
the 120 update right there.
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
the
There it
only
is. We've
thing
solved it. We've solved it. Here we go.
That's what could happen in 120.
Lemons is your
Ruined
man.
sounds.
Excellent. You might get a call, Lemons. You might have another ad deal in a minute, mate. Job done.
There you go. Get yourself in
Yeah.
there.
Nice.
No, but it's awesome when that sounds to me like I can make it a mod. Yeah, actually, I could. Yeah, that'll be easy as hell. I mean, it's funny in the Infusion modders Discord, people are just joking. I think they're talking about like EBOs, which is like a file format. I said I don't know why I said to people, you should make a mod where when you die it plays the Roblox death sound.
God.
Why not? Okay, not DayZ related. I can't believe they got rid of that sound. Polarizing sound, fantastic. You hear it's like childhood. Now it's just like sadness because it's not fucking in there anymore. But no, I think honestly, I think there should be more of a focus on like the different effects and features depending on your state of the weapon. I mean, yeah, sure, we'll have like different textures and whatnot and durability, but it's something recently that was kind of discussed in the Discord. Your bullets damage state doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that is
It's strange, isn't it?
That's the polite word. That's the polite word. I'll use that. It's very strange.
Putting it lightly.
To put it lightly, like, I can only assume that once 120 comes out, they'll add where you have to, like, rechamber the gun because your bullet is a dud. I think that'll be the best way to go about it, and I'm pretty sure that's what they will do.
Yeah, just having like more in-depth like weapon malfunction mechanics would be amazing, and even like imagine having like a round blow up in your barrel, like just a misfired round blow up, and then you get unconned from it. Like
backfires, slaps you in the face. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a feature in alpha though. I don't know if I'm having like a Berenstein, the Mandela effect right here, where it's like, I specifically recall having to constantly rechamber a sporter because I always had to use damage like 22 rounds, and I hated that gun because of it.
Oh yeah, no, that was a feature. Yeah, back in alpha.
I'm pretty.
You'd have to cycle the rounds. Yeah, no, it was.
Was it the same with bullets in fireplaces?
I'm not sure, but I remember because, lad, if you remember the old HUD and you right-clicked on ammo, you could sort through it and sift through the non-damaged ones. It was something like that, and you would like go through your ammunition or something like that.
Probably. I mean, maybe. I mean, I know there's a bug right now where even if a stack is like badly damaged or damaged, and you put like a pristine or one bullet in there, it'll reset the entire stack.
Yeah.
So they need to fix that. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers that, because I was going mental. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was a feature at some point. I'm pretty sure it bloody was.
Moral of the story: bring back alpha features, DayZ. Please and thank you.
There you go.
When can we catch rain with water bottles? Thanks.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now that's a big thing for me. Right. Cooking pot. Why can you not catch, or any bottle, for instance, cooking pot mainly for me, as it's what I normally use. But why can you not put it on the ground or lift it in your arms towards the sky and fill it up with water when it's raining? That there, is
like a
game changer. Yeah. Frying pan, all of it. Yeah. I thought they were bringing that in a couple of updates ago.
Well, okay, this is what I don't understand, because it's like with barrels, it will accumulate water over time when it's been
Yes.
raining. So why the hell can you not do it with your cooking pots or your bottles?
Yeah.
Like, sure, it
Yeah.
would take some time, but
Yeah. And it's an obvious survival method.
yeah.
So
Maybe
Yeah.
they just haven't done it because in Chernarus you're not really that far away from a water source.
yeah. But it would be clean water, wouldn't it? So you wouldn't have to go to a well if you didn't have any chlorine tablets.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't go to a river because you didn't have any chlorine tablets, then you know, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's wells everywhere, isn't there? But yeah, interesting one.
2OP, it rains too much. Then just
Well,
make it
you're right
really
there.
slow. Like the slowest method to get water.
You know what? It would probably mean that people wouldn't have to go into towns anymore because you'd be shooting animals in the wild or fishing, as we just discussed.
Mm.
And then you can get water, so you'd have everyone on the edge of the map, wouldn't you? Right on the edge of the bloody map. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
How about being able to combine barrels and a few other items along with potatoes so we can make some potato moonshine? Not really an idea I'm putting forward, it's just happy hour where I live. You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Make half the water pumps on the map broken, needing pipe wrench.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, that.
That reminds me of a critical bug back in the early days of like 1.0 standalone, like that update, where even if you drank from a water pump,
You'd still get ill, yeah?
you'd still get sick. Yeah, I remember that, and I think I was like,
Yeah.
this fucking game. I was done.
Yeah.
I was so angry. I'm like, oh. By the way, lads, something completely different. Can you ask Boydie to put the socials of the hosts in the description on the overlay? Yeah, I can sort that out. That'll be no issue at all. I'll certainly get that updated, and that'll be in there, updated when this stream goes to the supporters and when the video comes out. I'll send you lads OnlyFans, no worries. Nice. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of alpha features that we can choose from to bring back, and there's a lot of stuff in there that they can re-implement. So I do have high hopes. I do have high hopes about what they're going or could potentially bring out. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've kind of talked about quite a bit about what we would like love to see, but what would be like the most surprising thing do you think they could do? And I know it's a really odd question, but I like those kind of questions because it makes you think. Like, you know, we've got underground stuff, we've got, you know, claymores, we've had the bloody thumper or M79 or whatever you want to call it. We've had like the pox grenades and stuff like that come out. What backwards ass thing do you think they could come up with now?
Well, for me, it wouldn't be something brand new, you know? I'm going to go back to what I always say, and that is sort the base building out. Because it's got to be done. No one's building bases, really. Not on officials.
Well, that's the most surprising update, the most surprising feature they could come up with is fix the fucking base building.
Sort it so you can build on bloody hills, at least on a little bit of a verge. Christ, it needs to be done.
Flat roofs or just more customizable options where you like, yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it'd be a game changer. It's like the vehicles, game changer if it works.
If
We're not talking about fully, let's have base building plus here. What we're talking about is just lowering the spec on the actual inclines. That's it. So you can actually place a watchtower or bloody fence in its simplest form on something that isn't completely flat. You know, I know they did tweak it a little bit, but I think it needs to tweak a little bit more.
Yeah, because I mean now server owners have the option to kind of like essentially turn like that feature on. But for server owners that decide, no, I don't want this, there definitely should be a bit more work put into it. Yeah. I think when it comes to base building, 5-digit code locks
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
And when it comes to baseball, I'm always going to refer to dumps mod, the build fortifications mod, but they should really start to add something like that, because if I want to build in like a house in the middle of nowhere, like, you know, there are some places in Livonia where it's just a single house in a hunter's area, something like that. I don't want to be building a massive fuck off fence converted into a gate. I just want a normal door,
Yeah, simple.
sized object, and just put it in there. That's what I want. That's literally all I want. Smaller sections for you to base, like to do your base building, and for a proper ability to reinforce a house. That's all I want.
How about on working on the back of that? The fence kit itself, for those small doorways, for most doorways, a reduced size fence kit that will fit the doorway. You know, something simple like that.
Yeah, even like you could just like put a couple of like metal sheets on there as well, reinforce it with like the wooden frames. Great, you got yourself a metal door. Sorted. And
I mean, that's what it was supposed to happen, though. You know, you go back when Dean Hall was working on the project, and they were saying they wanted to add that in to where players could properly barricade and fortify buildings. You know, that was the direction they were trying to go with it. And I think that, honestly, you know, it's kind of a hot take, but I think if they went that way, it would have been a lot better than the base building we have right now. You know, much rather than building your own bases, having the chance to actually work with the terrain, work with these buildings, and actually fortify them as your own, I think may have been a much better approach. You know, and even scripting wise, having them set that up might have been easier than what they're doing with the way they have to base building right now. You know, and
easily,
even like at a realism standpoint, you know, I don't know a lot of people right now. Like, lad, could you build a watchtower like you see in DayZ if you had to?
In real life?
Yeah.
Mate, I can barely pick up a bloody log.
See, and that's the thing, you know, but like fortifying a building, getting nails, you know, boarding up the windows, boarding up the doors, you know, and doing stuff like that, it just makes more sense, you know, at a realism standpoint. I know a lot of people may have different or like varying opinions on it, but at the end of the day, DayZ is trying to be a hardcore survival experience, and with that, there are going to be some things that are going to make it a hardcore survival experience, you know? So
yeah, I'm with you, mate. 100% on that. Absolutely.
Or even sandbags, you know, they said they wanted to give us sandbags even too to be able to put up in houses and homes and all that kind of stuff. For the HESCO boxes, you know, what happened to those? They're still in the files. They still have their entries. You can still spawn the HESCO boxes in, but we just can't use them.
They got rid of them because nobody was using them. Because there is no need to use them. Like, what can you use like the HESCO boxes for? Like legit, give me, if anybody can give me a single reason why in DayZ you would use a HESCO box.
A barricade.
How many do you need for a barricade?
Road barrier.
How
like
many
4 or
would you
5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Do you know where this used to spawn? I can easily just chop down a tree, get stuff for like a fence or gate, and just do that. There'd be no point to get a HESCO box and filling up with dirt.
That's true. But like going back to the whole thing, you know, if they had it set up the way that like I was talking about, where it was just like the base fortification or like the building fortification system, I feel like then the HESCO boxes would have served a much better purpose. And I think that move, like you were saying, it doesn't serve a purpose, you know. But that's because they decided to go that way with how it's done, you know. Because just imagine if base building didn't exist like this. There was no kits, there was no nothing like that. You had your tents, you had your improvised shelters, and you had the ability to fortify buildings, and that's it, you know. And maybe there's different types of fortifications, so you could barricade doors, you could barricade windows, or maybe you could build off and have like if you've seen Dying Light too, how they've done stuff on the roofs and the rooftops, how there's like barrels and rain collectors and stuff like that. Being able to do stuff like that, you know, I feel like that would have just been such a rich and atmospheric experience for players, you know. So
yeah, I think you're absolutely right, mate. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
I'm just still waiting for an actual valid reason for this. No, I do think
Anesthetically pleasing. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I do actually think, there should definitely be more of a focus, because like once even now, once you build your base, you've got your car, it's all reinforced, everything like that. What do? There needs to be stuff for you to keep doing, to maintain, to make sure that your base can, survive and thrive at the end of the day. So having stuff to collect rainwater. I mean, we've already got stuff like farmland, that's great, but like once you got your base, there's nothing to do. So there needs to be something that can kind of entice you to keep, maintaining your base without it just being hoarding your gear. Like there needs to be something.
Exactly. Going full circle here, lad. Listen to this. If they were to add it in like the mechanics I was doing, or like what I was recommending, then they could complement that by adding the zombie animations, the zombie bashing, the door interactions and stuff, and then that would give you a reason to actually fortify those buildings. There you go. Boom. There's DayZ 130 right there. 1.30.
130.
Big dev, innit? Big dev.
Yeah. But just imagine that. Like, just imagine being in that constant fear, like either you have to be in the most remote areas, like having campsites set up, having those improvised shelters in the woods, or being in these towns and cities that are infested with infected, where you can have that risk of being in one of those areas, but if they find out you're in there, they can bust those doors down, they can break the doors, they can get in there and they can attack you. But just having that opportunity to actually work with that, I feel like that would totally change the way the game would work, and change the mechanics and the replayability. And I think that would actually solve some of the issues with replayability in its current state. Because as you were saying, lad, a lot of people, they'll grind, they get their loot, they build a base, they throw it all in storage, and that's the end of it. But if it was a base in a city, A, there's a higher chance of it being found by players. B, there can be environmental things like zombies, which would be interacting with the doors, the windows, all that stuff, and damaging them over time. So you'd have to have that protection. And I don't know, like I think that personally that would be a no-brainer, and that would solve a lot of the issues we have, because a lot of people just wait until wipe and then start playing again.
Yeah,
this would keep that active connection, it would keep that active basis with the player for them to keep coming back and working on it. It's the same thing that a game like 7 Days to Die does with their zombies and their base building mechanics, and it keeps you wanting to play and keeps you going. So
yeah.
Yeah. There's only so many bases you can raid on a server. And these days, especially on official, everything's raided within the first 48 hours, isn't it? So, yeah, I agree. I think the timestamp thing is a very good situation, a very good idea, where over a period of time, they can't just break it down because you're in there with like 5 minutes worth of hitting it. I'm talking about zombies here. So over time, that accrues damage. And if you don't reinforce and rebuild and strengthen, then your base is gone because they're going to be coming in.
100%. Like, just imagine having those zombies there, like just their heads like bashing up against the windows and the doors, or trying to pound against them with their hands, like that, just how immersive that would be, and even it would, like, if you had like a generator going and that sound was coming off, because I think that already does attract zombies, but
I think it does.
Imagine just having the zombies all brought around your base, like banging on the doors and the windows and stuff like that, and just how crazy that would be of like an experience, and I don't know, like I just feel like there would be a lot of work that would go into it, but I feel like it would be something beneficial, and I feel like it would be something that could complement DayZ and kind of go back to the roots of what Dean Hall had planned, in a sense. And at the end of the day, I'm not Bohemia and I'm not Dean Hall, so I can only give my kind of outsider looking in type response. But I think it could very well benefit it, and I think that in a different reality, or like in a different universe, if they did pursue something like that and that's the way base building was, I don't think we'd have some of the issues that we see in official.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be interesting, right? Any server owners out there that could kind of go down that route a little bit as best they can. That'd be interesting to see how popular that is. I reckon that would probably be off the scale. Is there any mods out there right now that does allow for damage over time to, i.e., zombies striking
Not necessarily damage over
No.
time, but I know there's mods that allow zombies to break down the doors, and they
I've
actually
seen
use
those.
the animations that are in the
Yes,
files.
Yes.
So-
Yeah.
Sawyer Crowd was talking about that, like, and some of the Wolves servers that he manages. Some of them have actually got the mod where infected can break down doors.
Yeah, I've seen.
And it's terrifying. It's great, but it's terrifying. And I think ultimately what 120 and post 120 needs, obviously on top of the base building aspects that we're just talking about, all the weapons and whatever else, infected needs to be one fixed in terms of like the desync animations, stuff like that, and they need to be more of a threat.
They need to be done justice, because if you go to their FAQ and you see the way they describe infected is nothing like they are in the game. Like they say, like they're like these bloodthirsty, rage-fueled, infected people. No, they're just a bunch of kooks running around with their heads off, you know, like.
I mean,
haven't had their coffee.
The Mummy Infected was like a great example of an extremely tough boss type infected, and I think we could do with something more like that. Maybe there's some like stronger infected types that could be introduced. Like we've got, I mean, we've already kind of got like tough ones. I mean, we've got ones with like plate carriers, but I mean ones that are like absolutely roided to shit. I think that would be really interesting concept. But I think Infected also need to have a new dynamic event that can take place anywhere on the map. And it's a rolling horde. That's what they need to do. Like
that's interesting. Yeah.
Because right now, the one event that to me that comes to mind that will prevent you from doing your typical loot run is if a town has been shelled, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if your loot run typically takes you through a forest? You're going through there, doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you attract one infected. It's like, oh, one infected in the woods, that's a bit weird. And the next minute, more and more start to chase you down. That would terrify me, and that would make me rethink, okay, I'm going to be going through the Black Forest, or whatever. I need to keep my eyes about me, not just because of players, because if I attract a horde, I'm going to be messed up.
Well, you're going to die, aren't you? You will definitely die. Because when your stamina runs out, they're going to be on you, and there's no way you're going to survive that, is there?
Yeah, and if you've got like an automatic weapon, like an MP5 or a Scorpion or whatever, and you do manage to kill them all, that's a lot of gunfire, and that's going to attract players. That's a hell of a lot. Yeah,
absolutely.
So there needs to be more elements to make the infected an actual threat. And for you to value your life more without adding unnecessary features. At least in my opinion. I could be completely, again, talking out my arse.
Yeah.
Which I occasionally do.
No, I definitely agree with you, though. You know, I think, like I was saying, zombies need to be done justice in the game, because they seem like more of a pushover right now than anything. You know, I see so many streamers, they'll collect like 10, 20 zombies and lock them in like a garage or something in a building, and they don't even care, and they're gone, and that's it. There needs to be something like, just imagine running through a city and there's like zombies breaking down windows and falling through them, or like bashing through doors and stuff, and like just I feel like that would be crazy, or having them just like sprinting at you full speed, like throwing themselves at you, like that would be insane. Or like imagine like if a zombie's able to get their hands on you and is able to bite you, not infect you, but give you bleed damage, because of course within the game like players are immune. But just imagine if they're able to bite you, grab onto you, and start like attacking you or clawing at you or something like that, and you'd have to like get them off or do something like that. You know, like just stuff like that. Like imagine being in like a dark forest, or like Lad was saying with the rolling hordes, and you have a zombie sneak up behind you and just grab onto you. You would shit yourself. Like.
I would just shit myself hearing a bloody scream behind us. I'd be like, I would actually panic, because I mean, like, you know, DayZ, yes, it's a great PvP game. The mechanics have proved that. The PvE element is also great. You know, there's a lot of really cool features there. But there's no fear.
Mm.
Like, yeah, sure, you can be scared of players, but it's not something that stays with you. Not really. Like, you get
Oh,
plenty of
100%.
hours in the game, and it's like, right, okay, I'm going into Savetlo. I know there's going to be players here. Let's just fuck around. DayZ needs that horror element back, in my opinion. But to do that is going to be extremely difficult. But
Oh, 100%.
I'm a sucker for horror games. Like, my favorite like horror games are like psychological horror, like Silent Hill, 1 to 4. The rest are shite. Don't play. Well, actually, they're all right. But obviously, you can't get a psychological horror with DayZ. But there are certain horror elements you can instill into the game, and I think it'd be interesting if they could focus on that.
Oh, 100%. And I can say for sure, within my time playing the game, I've gotten like adrenaline rushes and I've got scares from players, but I can never really say I've gotten that from a zombie,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be completely
definitely.
honest with you.
Yeah,
And
without doubt.
backtracking a bit to what Lad was saying about the whole events, and the hordes. What if we had an event that spawns in and it's a car, like a crashed car, but it has a car alarm, and there's like tons of zombies surrounded around, like about it. Like imagine being in
Yeah,
a town and you just start hearing like a blaring car alarm, and there's like hundreds of zombies around it. Like,
Ooh, that's actually good. Like in Zelenogorsk or something like that. Like, it could even like spawn just like randomly. Like, it'll check if there's any players who can view, like, can they see the event spawn? If not, then they could do that. Or even like one of the wrecks could just have like a random
exactly,
sound
it's
on
easily
it.
configurable because
Yeah.
they've been doing it with the heli crash. They added sounds to the heli crashes, and just imagine like a vehicle that just got into like a gnarled accident, and it just has like the alarm going off on it. And maybe they've done like a custom one where maybe that there's like a dead survivor in the vehicle, or it's just
Mhm.
something like that, just something like crazy, like just an absolute wreck, and
Oh
just
my
seeing
God,
all the
yeah.
zombies surrounding it, like that would be crazy, like.
Okay, I want to make it as a mod now. The car. I want to make that as a mod. Like, it could like literally be the model of like one of the normal like wrecks, and then it's just a sound point placed onto it, and then
Yeah.
and then it can just be like a normal map object. You can just put it in there,
Exactly.
and then maybe if a car has a certain amount of damage on it, or maybe it's just like a random point, just start doing the car alarm. It'll just start the beeping.
Absolutely. Now, taking
Oh
it
my
a step
goodness.
further from that, hear me out. Imagine environmental events. Imagine like that atmosphere going into a home, a house alarm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
Chance
like
for that
that.
to go
That
off.
Yeah,
That
like
would
that.
probably work better. As SG was just saying here, the abandoned cars have been there for too long for the alarms to go off lore-wise. It would be great as a mod. But a house alarm. Now, if the batteries are low, then if I can recall correctly, if the batteries are low, they'll sometimes start to just randomly go off.
Like
So, like,
chirping,
they're
yeah,
tripping.
no,
Yeah, they're
100%.
tripping. So that would be pretty. That could be pretty interesting.
Though to argue SG's point, or to add on to it, I'm talking like recent accidents because there's still working vehicles spawning across the map.
Yeah.
So I'm talking some guy just like slammed into a tree, or he like swerved out of the way of a zombie or something like that, and then the car alarm's going off. I'm not talking like one of the older wrecks. I'm talking like this accident just happened, like the car's
That
still
could work.
smoking.
Yeah.
Like, but even further from that point, imagine having to lockpick vehicles to open them up. Like imagine being like in Civet, you found a Gunter,
Mhm.
but you have to lockpick it to open it, and there's a chance that the car alarm will go off. Imagine how
Yeah.
crazy that would be.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
you mess it up, and the car alarm just starts chirping, and there's hundreds of zombies running at you,
Hmm.
or having to break the windshield to open it. Like
Mhm.
small things like that would just be so crazy. Because I understand, like even lore wise, there's gonna be a lot of abandoned vehicles that would be unlocked. Because of course people are
Yeah,
just
of course.
in a like a panic. They're running out of the
Mm.
cars. They're gonna be left open like and abandoned, but. There are like just having a chance for some of them to be locked like that and being able to either like
Mm.
break the
Yeah,
window
yeah.
and be able to open it or just lock pick it, that would be crazy. Like, and
Mhm.
just having that chance for the alarm to go off would be insane. And I think it goes full circle to a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about and we've been discussing with environmental hazards and just building that atmosphere within the game. And I think stuff like that would really bring back that horror aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, right? So just work with this a minute, right? So we've got the dynamic toxic clouds, we've got the static toxic clouds, you've got the zombie patrols, police car wise, with a spawn in a bunker key card, for instance. Right now, you've got the trains, the dynamic train spawns. Now, in other areas, you've either got one of these or a couple of these that we've just been talking about, like either a house alarm or a car alarm, completely different areas that spawn in. You could have 2 or 3 of these different events spawning in across the map at any one time. Then you add in a little bit of additional base building, as we were just discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Would that not change the entire game? Would that not be a hit? I mean,
That would be.
that would
I
just
think it
change
would be.
DayZ. That would be massive, wouldn't it?
And if it's not like a massive impact, at the very least, it can steer like the path towards
the future.
That's it. Like the future of like, okay, we've got these ideas, we'll put them in. The reception's been pretty positive. Should we keep exploring this route? Let's see what else we can kind of like enrich the world with. I think that would be really cool. Actually, I like it. I like the ideas.
Yeah. Definitely game changers, isn't they?
It would certainly make the player numbers go up, which is this year's been
Funny
crazy
enough.
with. Yeah, yeah.
I like how you led into that one. That's good.
Probably is one of my best ones yet.
Yeah, I do like that bit.
But
Well, funny enough.
I mean, the DayZ players, like the player count, at least for PC, we don't have official ways to check on Xbox and PS, so sorry about that. But they're doing really, really great, and let's pull the numbers here. I had the bloody Red 9 still up. But like, right now, so I'm just going to refresh the page. So, 45-hour peak, 45,074. The all-time peak was still 7 months ago at 58,523. And right now, on a weekend, Friday night, 40,505. And bearing in mind, at least on the East Coast, it's 20 past 5. People are coming out of, people coming out of work. They're doing stuff like college and that. They're probably finishing some of their classes and whatnot. This number's only going to start going up, I'd hope. I mean, it did peak earlier on at 45,000. Lad compared to Arma Reforger, absolutely. So obviously, I mean, Arma Reforger is kind of a different beast overall, but
I mean, I'm looking at
155.
I mean, just looking at the trends for the last 3 months, it's September plus 664. October we're up nearly 5%. The last 30 days, another 4%. It is steadily climbing, and the reductions, they're not as bad as they used to be over the last few years. I mean, you were talking in 2020, June of 2020, of a 14-15% decline.
Yeah.
You're then looking at February 21, a 15% decline. It's not been that high since 2021, February 2021. And all you now see pretty much, other than the odd 1-2, there was one at 11% in February 22, it's gone down. Other than that, it's all very positive. It's all climbing.
And absolutely,
by quite a bit.
It's DayZ is going to continue getting better, and it is a strange one. It is a strange one. So, what other games in the genre, in the similar genre, can we compare DayZ to? So there's 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
Sure, it had a higher all-time peak, and congratulations on the 70,000 10 months ago, but it's 26,005. DayZ still 40,000. What other games? Not Miscreated, because I'm pretty sure that's dead now.
Try Project Zomboid. See what that's looking at.
142, Project Zomboid.
Days Gone.
0 apparently in Project Zomboid, but no data for that. Oh no, that's a completely wrong different game, actually. Well done, lad. There, Project Zomboid, 22,000. Rust, I'm not going to compare it. Oh, you know what? Let's compare Rust. 106,000. I mean, yeah, sure, fair enough. But Rust is definitely a lot more polished game from DayZ. Yes, you heard me say that right. But Rust kind of like appeals to a different
genre.
dead game. Shut up, Foxy. Yes, totally. DayZ is a dead game, but so yeah, going back to Project Zomboid, because I just kind of missed that. 22,000. So there are other games in the genre which have half the players, but they all do something really unique to keep their players on, and DayZ definitely does that. Rust definitely does that. Project Zomboid definitely does that. So it's just a case of, to me, it's like, what can DayZ now do to keep those players up? Because it just seems to keep killing it. I mean, what was the previous Right.
Welcome back, gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, server restart. Sorry.
Yeah, we got caught in a server reset.
OBS completely crashed. Sorry about that, guys. I really do apologize. How long did the last episode go on for?
It's an hour.
Well over an hour. Right. Okay. Looks like our editor's gonna have some fun. Yay! Eh, Lord. But DayZ just like as I was just saying before. When it comes to like DayZ, they blame that. Shut up! Don't blame me. I'm sensitive. DayZ definitely manages to keep their players, but they don't seem to gain that much as well at the same time. And I will say, I'm really surprised 119 didn't peak. Really surprised. So I think
it got close though, didn't it?
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, it weren't far off.
Yeah. If only some people decide to get out of work and play. I couldn't. So somebody else should have. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I do think it's going to get better. I do honestly think that the player count is going to continue getting better, and it's come so far. What do you think, Cobra?
Well, I just see a steady increase, right? I think with every update and with every change that's for the positive, I think it's. I don't think it's going anywhere just yet, is it? I just think that there just needs to be that game changer situation that, you know, possibly around fixing what needs to be fixed, but at the same point, let's talk about, you know, what we've been discussing tonight. I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see how many people would actually go with that. I think a lot of people, if you put it to a poll around those little alarms, sorting out the barricading, I think a lot of people would say, yeah, let's go and get on that straight away.
Easily.
So yeah, I can't see it dropping drastically. Be interesting to see what they do on a new update though. But
119 made a lot of people mad with DOG's sticky walls. Well, yeah. Naughty boy. But I mean, don't get us wrong, 119 was a fantastic update and it obviously had its issues. But we've gotten past that as expected. Game's in a much stable state since the post 119 launch. And even if there's no 120 update, I think I'd be alright. I think I'd be like, you know what, yeah, we've got some good stuff, a good baseline for next year. But they just need to keep updating the game, making it better, fixing those issues, and well, you know, that steady increase will just obviously just keep going up and up.
Yeah, I mean, it's still outperforming a lot of games in this genre. So I think someone said about Call of Duty when that next hits always affects DayZ and all the rest of it. Yeah, it does, no
It
doubt.
does.
But they come back.
They always come back. You ain't gonna leave DayZ for long, trust me, I tried. I think we've all tried at one point.
We've all tried that,
Yeah.
and we're all back. So
Yeah, some of us just play the game, some of us make mods, some of us run a goddamn podcast. But yeah, I mean, it's again, in terms of updates, but in terms of numbers, it's been a great year. It's been a really, really great year for DayZ, and I genuinely can't wait to see what the next year will bring. I'm really intrigued about what's gonna happen.
yeah, what direction are they going to now go in? Yeah.
Just add my fucking gun.
No. You know they need to add an LAD.
No,
That unidentified organic matter.
actually, that is a good point. Do you know about that, Cobra?
No, go for that, mate.
Right. So in the bunker, I believe it's the second basement level.
Mhm.
In the rubble, in one of the tunnels, there's
Oh.
what looks like vines.
Yes.
And if you look at the full model, the vines break off in the middle, and there's some yellow substance on it.
Oh, you did mention this, didn't you, before? Yeah.
And
Interesting.
it's kind of one of those things from Armor 3. A lot of assets from the bunker were from Armor 3, as expected. But is it an Easter egg? Or does this mean that we're going to be getting a lot more Livonia changes?
That's
Yeah.
true, because as they did, like the file name was really weird. Like it was a really weird way to file it, because like to name the file, because conventionally they would have just given it like a generic Vine or Ivy class name, but they had a point of within the texture files naming it the unidentified organic matter, which is interesting to say the least.
I'm
So
a
maybe
sticker
that's
for
hinted at something else.
I hope so. Maybe it's like one of the origins of pox. Maybe that's what they're going to be using. Who knows?
See,
DayZ's
maybe.
actually like a cordyceps type virus.
Well, that's
Imagine.
it. Oh mate. Oh yeah, we'll deal with like what the infected are with, and now we're advancing onto the cordyceps stuff. Oh, just might as well just play Last of Us.
DayZ with clickers.
Oh mate. Oof, no, I don't think I could cope with that, especially at night. Sod that. Trust us, I know how dark.
That would be
like
that would
nights
be
could-
scary.
I-
That would be scary.
Nah, I'm good. I know I was talking about horror before in DayZ, but nah, I'm good. God. But what more do you think about that, Cobra? Like in terms of like where the game could go, in terms of like everything now.
Well, I mean, I think it's quite clear that the base building bit they tried, and probably not going to revisit that for a while. So I think what else is there really? So they've messed around with the vehicles, and as a whole, they're a bit better on, they're quite a bit better. Some of them actually on this update. They've added bits to the Livonia map. Is there going to be an added part of Cherno next? Is there going to be, I don't know, some big groundbreaking dream in a pipeline of another DLC or something? Is there going to what could it be? I mean, they've added toxic zones. They've added dynamic train spawns. I can't see them adding to the Livonia map in terms of buildings. I don't think that's going to happen. So what else could there be? Are they going to extend this bunker thing? Is there going to be a bit more of a storyline behind some of, this gradual build up to what you're kind of guessing that it may be? I don't know, mate. I think there's many directions it could go in. But
There definitely is. I mean, Lemons, what do you think on top of that? I'll give my thoughts in a second.
I'd love to see, like, more environmental stuff. I'd love to see this unidentified organic matter be played into the story more. Maybe more emphasis on the pox and how it's manufactured, and like it's stuff we've talked about before, and it's what inevitably made me work on Zagoria. Is just fleshing out like the response from like the government, the military, the different municipalities, like that different level. What the medical response was, all that kind of stuff. The civilian response. I feel like having stuff like that and being able to flesh that out within the game and tell that kind of story would be very crucial to building that atmosphere. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that. And it's something they've already started to do with the bunker, with these Easter eggs, and the small hints they've been dropping throughout the map. Of course, we remember with the mine entrances with the Yellow King spray painted on them and the Hannah backpack and all that stuff. And it's really interesting to see that, very, very much so. And when you go into the bunker, all those things that get revealed, when you go into the laboratory and you see all that stuff, like we need more stuff like that, 100%.
They did. Did you see that human feces in a bucket in the bunker? Did you see that?
Yep.
I mean,
That's
there
how
is
the
a-
infection started.
What a
That's-
shit.
that's
it is.
exactly
DOJ
exactly
threw
it.
shit in a
That's what's
can,
happened.
and
Yeah.
that started the outbreak.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so vile that they just went into a bloodthirsty rage, and that's how the zombies started.
I just
I
can't
think.
believe. I just can't believe they stuck Scotty's head in that bucket. Like, what the fuck's wrong with them?
I do think Marx is right though. I mean,
Oh, yeah, he
it's
absolutely
probably
is.
going to be just fixing bugs, I should
Yeah.
imagine. So
We
Well-
can dream,
mm.
We can certainly. I just want to say welcome, Dom, to the stream. Nice to have you here, as well as Marks. Much love to you both.
Yeah,
I mean,
guys.
yeah. Ultimately, we know 120 will be, primarily a bug fixing update. It's a minor update. They typically are adding a couple of things here and there, but to me, it's still always good to kind of like talk about these ideas, because if it doesn't inspire the devs, it'll inspire someone else, and that's kind of like the main thing. But Red 9 when I just finished streaming. I tried to rate the stream, but not sure how the feature works. Actually, yeah, we need to learn that. I was supposed to look into that and failed miserably. Sorry, Tate. But I think I've forgotten what my initial question was.
What's going to happen in the future?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we were
God,
talking about how like 1.20 is going to be a small update, but like the fact that we're still able to like speculate about it, and even if
No,
it
I
doesn't
mean,
make even if
before-
like the
Before
Oh,
that,
man.
Lemons, like the actual like question. What did you say, Cobra? Don't tell me
yeah.
you've forgotten now.
Right.
DayZ is a good game. There we go. That was our moral of the
That
story.
was moral of the story. I agree. It's
Yeah.
growing. It's growing. That's
Yeah, an actual. I've just literally pulled an actual lad champ moment right there.
Wait, I was
Dump-
too busy reading the chat. so-
Dump's counting. Dump is still counting. Dump. Fuck you. Shut up. Moving on.
What we got to talk about
Interesting
next?
question by Sauerkraut in the chat though. Is there going to be a DayZ 2.0? And if not, what will the release next?
No, I don't.
I don't think that DayZ will ever release a 2.0. We've talked about this before on the stream and on the podcast, and I think that if there was ever to be something like that, it's not gonna be a new game. It's gonna be like what they did with 0.62, where there was just that very big engine change where they changed from like strictly the RV to the RV and Fusion hybrid, but that was still kept within the game. They didn't change it to DayZ 2 or new DayZ game. It's still called DayZ, but they just did that change back in 0.62. I think that if it was ever to be full in Fusion, it would be the exact same thing. They're not going to make a whole new game about it, but I think that they'll just update it internally within DayZ, and then keep that going.
They won't
because-
even do that.
Yeah,
The-
no, but I'm saying even if they did, they're not going to make a whole new project for it.
Yeah.
And even going into the future, they might release another survival game. There might be something else that comes out eventually. But until then, I'm just happy to see that they're still supporting this project after so many years. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and not adding in lads Red 9 is quite a blessing.
You're walking on thin ice, boy. Walking a thin ice, I tell you that. But no, I mean, Cobra, what do you think? What do you think, bud?
Oh, I'm with Lemons, mate. I'm completely with Lemons there. I don't think I can really add much to that. I think he's absolutely right, you know. I think, what are we looking at? 121, 122 for something big, maybe? I'm not sure.
Well, I can easily say that we're not going to get DayZ 2, and we're not going to be moving to full infusion.
DayZ 2, the Electric Boogaloo, coming soon to theater near
Coming to a cinema near you. No, I mean,
No,
when,
but
when it comes down to it, I mean, DayZ doing another engine swap, and I've said this countless times on the show, but it would be suicide. It would be suicide for the game because it would completely destroy the modding community as we know it. And if there is ever a DayZ 2, Cobra admitted Lemons was right, negative rep. That's what you just got this job.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it, mate.
And if there was ever a DayZ 2, it'll be way, way after Armour 4 comes out. Because you got Reforger, which is the test bed for Armour 4. It's not going too great. Armour 4 will come out. It'll be a lot more refined. Fantastic. And then DayZ 2 could be in the pipeline. But, again, I'm not too sure. I think the only thing that DayZ can do right now is to focus on bug fixes, introducing new features, and focus on community-made DLC. That's the one thing that
100%.
has kept Armour going for so long, is the community-made DLCs.
and it's something we've always been pushing on the podcast too,
Absolutely.
since the very beginning. It needs to happen because we have the people here that can make that. We have the means.
Mm.
We have the tools, we have the resources, and we have the bright minds here that want to make that happen. But it's just a matter of getting that feedback and getting that support from the developers. And I think Bodhi's voices as well a ton of times. But I feel if people were to put together a team like a third party studio, get that concept down, get that idea, and give a proper concept or pitch to the proper people of Bohemia,
Mm-hmm.
who knows what could happen. But
And
I've
that's
yet
it.
to see anybody that's tried that yet,
Well, that's it, because
publicly at least.
when it comes down to it, it's like, we want more people play the game, and we want people to have more of the raw experience that DayZ provides without having to go into like community servers. Which mean, you know, a lot more players would have to play it official. But even now, I mean, Cobra, you were telling me just a little bit before, and we were kind of discussing it a little bit. And I thought it would be a great talking point. You know, well, you brought it up, not me, but you thought it would be a great talking point.
The official stuff, yeah.
The official servers, like, a lot of them, you've said, are like, you know, quite high pops, like full pop. But
it's strange. It is very, very strange. You're getting at least a page now on PC. I'm talking about at the moment. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously Lemons is here for the console side of it as well. But what I'm seeing on PC right now is you are getting full servers. You're queuing to get in servers on official on both Livonia and Cherno. However, where are those people in game?
yeah,
Now, you know, you can gone are the days where you're running through Northwest Airfield and even Tizzy and maybe even VMC, to be fair, and you're guaranteed interactions. You're not anymore. I mean, the amount of streams I've done lately, I mean, I'm talking about the last, I'd say 6 months. You know, I might get into now one interaction in any of those areas right now on official. And if you take it as a bit of a whole here, this is the picture on official for PC anyway. There's not really any bases anywhere now. There may be some stash sites because I find them regularly. You know, there may be the odd base. There may be loads of broken bits everywhere, like single door, single whatever. But finding players on official is a mission right now, and it has been for quite some time. And the only kind of, because I put it out there and I've asked in my community, and the answers I keep getting back is that people are now kind of just all pretty much nomads who when they see a player, now this may be because of the influx of new players. I'm sure this has got something to do with it, but a lot of players aren't engaging anymore. So all right, you go to community modded servers and it is like full on PvP on a lot of servers. That's great. You go to the bigger servers, you're definitely like Endzone and all the rest of them. You're definitely going to be hitting, Aftermath, all that kind of stuff. Titan, you're going to be hitting PvP, PvP. That's great.
Oh yeah.
But official servers is so different from the modded aspect. So different. In fact, I ran around for 2 hours the other night and I didn't, but apart from one freshie on the coast when I was a freshie, and I've hit every major military, every northern town, every mid town, nothing. I heard one gunshot, and that's regular at the moment. So, it's kind of strange, mate. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. People are just not engaging. They're hiding, or they literally don't want to get in PvP. Is it because they've finally got geared, and they're going, do you know what? I'm not going to fight. I'm not interested in going to those main military sites anymore. And if you then look further around, so what I do on my streams, I not only hit those areas, but I also hit the outreaches like the forests, where people go fishing everywhere along those type of Western Hills, mountain range. Top northeast side of the map as well. And they're not there. They're not there either. So where are they?
See,
what's that?
To me, I think it's a nice combination of brand new players, getting used to the game. So I used to stay way in the corners of the map and the edges and that when I played. I was too scared to go in the center of the map and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people doing that.
No doubt.
I think it is also a mixture of people knowing the best loot routes, knowing how best to be quiet and stealthy, but it's probably is also the cheating stuff that's going on. I know, based on my personal experience, when me and my friends, we played on official early this year, we were at Northeast Airfield. And we were having a canny time. It was fantastic. It was lovely. Had a good laugh. We didn't really bump into many people, maybe one or two. It was oh, that's great. But we played for hours and hours unofficial. And what ended it was we got killed by cheer. From God knows how far away. It was that's just because we were going to be heading to a popular place.
Well, that's interesting as well because I've done a lot on these situations, and I've actually filmed quite a few videos where that's happened to me. But what I've kind of found in all my hours on official, what I find is this: Novo, top northeast of the map, the big industrial out that way. There's a couple of areas where you will find these hackers. Right, Novo's definitely one of them. Vibor's another. I don't encounter any of that in, believe it or not, military zones. I've not encountered for months. I'm talking maybe 6 months plus. And that is because no one's going there. So Vibor and Novo are the two main areas that I have experienced those type of issues in. And that's it. That is literally it. So now that's on Cherno. You look at Livonia. So go over to Livonia. It's a little bit different. So this is... There's no real stats for this, but what I can tell you is this, right? From my experiences, the Russian type hackers are hitting Cherno. Chinese type hacker groups are hitting Livonia. And the reason I know that is because on several of these servers, we've been official wise. If we've been on in the daytime and we're on a mid to high pop server, daytime wise, that's low to mid. And there's only a certain amount of people on those servers. And if you're talking to groups of 6, 7, then it's quite easy to work out who they are, especially with their name, obviously tags and what they're putting as their names on Steam. So, my whole founding community have experienced this. The whole of it, all of them. There's about 20 people that are in that founding community. And they were all present pretty much, bar maybe one or two. And the first thing we do is look at the names on Steam, who's online. so we know what accounts and what kind of countries they're from.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it does kill the game, and obviously that's the biggest reason people don't play official. But the last time I had a hacking experience was over 6 months ago now.
Hmm.
And I play official a lot. I'm always on official.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that was. I remember that's kind of like one of the core things for content, and it is funny because it's like a lot of the servers are fully populated, and there have been some really great. I've seen posts on the subreddit. People's been really enjoying official, and it is great. And maybe there are some other like full pop servers where the interactions are a lot more. I've personally found that playing on the temporary servers, you'll run into a lot more cheaters. Whereas playing on like
yeah, you're right with that.
Playing on like a dedicated like maybe EU 0-3 or something like that or whatever. I don't know the names. I can't remember rightly. But you'll have some decent interactions. But again, I think it does depend on the different kind of servers you do play on, because you will find that different regions will approach you obviously differently. Like there'll be different mannerisms and different behaviors. Like there'll be more KOS in certain servers than others, and more friendly interactions in others compared to others and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a luck of the draw at the same time, I would imagine, if you do get those encounters, which obviously is the point of the discussion there.
I mean, for temporary servers, what I've seen over the last 3 years now, the temporary servers are being used more and more now, more than they ever used to be used. And what you'll find is a lot of base builders go to the temporary servers, or a lot of stashes are on the temporary servers. And I think there's a couple of misconceptions with all of that. It used to be, I remember people used to say to me, "Oh well, they only last, on a temporary server for 7 days, and bases or stashes or whatever else." But they got the wrong concept there. Now, the fact of the matter is that I think a lot of people are either going to low pop servers to put a base down, but what they kind of are kind of missing, a little bit misinformed with that, is that it's so easy then, because it's such a low pop anyway on those type of servers. It's so easy for people to run across and find whatever tools they're using, whatever base because they've got all data raid, haven't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, there has been a big change in the temporary servers, I think, over the last 3 years. Definitely, they're definitely more popular than they used to be. But hacker wise, I mean, yeah, it's just what can you do? What can you do about that? There's nothing we can do. So
I use a special batch file that instantly closes my game, so I don't get killed by a hacker.
Okay, fair enough.
I use that. I'm like, my character may be on blinking red health and no blood, but hey, I'm still alive. But yeah, what can you do? Play a console to avoid hacking sorted. I am never converting skill speeder, and nothing you can say can make me.
The only difference between console and PC, really, when it comes to hacking, is you'll find more dupers on console and you'll find more hackers on PC. That's generally how it is. So there's issues both sides, isn't there? But is what it is. I feel dumped.
I feel duped. Shut up, dump. But it's like, when obviously when a lot of people play community servers, official servers, they'll play on for some time and they'll start to kind of move into the community servers, which I do encourage everybody to at least try. Lad gets complicated hand injury, forced to play console. Nah.
I think he'll just start playing his toes at that point before switching to console.
Neural implants to my brain directly to control my character. I will go the extra step to not play a console. But yeah, it's pulling the lad champ moment. Jesus Christ! And I need Tron that shit up. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, when obviously people play more official servers, they'll start to get more of an idea of the kind of play style, what they want, what they crave. And we kind of touched on this at the start of the show. We're talking about Memento Mori and the Day 1 servers. But personally, like, I played official on alpha for so long, and then when current standalone 2018 standalone 1.0 came out, nothing I was playing on official got to us. Like, it didn't scratch the itch. And I think leading, like, playing the game more on official and then going to community servers and playing on different kind of servers kind of leads you down a certain path if you feel like I need more of a hardcore experience, which loops back to Memento Mori. Like, how much more hardcore can you get?
Well, I think, I think where we are right now is the bigger population right now are playing community servers, but they're playing the lightly modded community servers. Everyone, a lot of cool right now. Again, as I was saying earlier in the show, that first-person adventure type stuff, but hardcore. Now, things like Spaggies and those type of servers, for me, I do think that is the only way you're going to get the vanilla experience without hackers. Well,
Easily.
you're potentially going to get them, but obviously they'd be banned. But you know what I mean? That is the way to go around it. But I will still always go back to the same thing, and that is, if you can survive on official, you can survive anywhere.
Yeah, easily.
So for anyone, because there's this balance for a lot of new players. Say, I get this asked quite a lot. What's the best way to learn the game? And a lot of people say go to modded, go to PvP, or go to PvE and practice. I don't say that. I turn and say no. Go to official, experience the very worst scenarios, and if you can survive majority of the time, you're going to be fine on anything you play. So that's my standpoint.
Even to this day, I mean, Lemons, you can agree with me or comment or disagree, whatever. But when you get DayZ, you need to play official. You need to play official. Like, you are not going to be able to get. To me, you're not going to be able to understand or get into DayZ properly without playing a healthy dose of official. Like, you are playing the way DayZ is intended to, without all the mods coming in. And there's loads of different mod styles and different server styles out there, and to play DayZ, to play on. And obviously no disrespect to like the VPP servers, but to play on like those kind of deathmatch servers just for DayZ, you might as well be playing Call of Duty. Or if you're just playing DayZ just to be on a, I don't even know what kind of a server, like a racing server or something like that, if that's even possible, then what you're doing. Like, play DayZ the way it's intended first. And then once you've gotten comfortable and you feel like, I know what you want to play that. If you feel like you need a more hardcore server, play in those kind of servers. If you feel like, actually, I really like the PvP aspect after playing DayZ a lot and you just want that action, play the VPP deathmatch servers. But just don't jump straight into modded. Never do that. There's just no point. And that's weird coming from somebody who mods for the game, but you need to appreciate what DayZ is going for first before enriching yourselves.
Because the issue with doing it the other way around is that you've got things like unlimited stamina, you've got all these extra little bits that you'll become so accustomed to that the second you hit official, you are not going to know what's hit you. You are going to be shitting yourself because you're going to be saying every 2 minutes, I'm dead, I'm dying, I don't know how to cure diseases, I don't know how to outrun a zombie, all these little things where you'd have to jump on top of a car if you've got a swarm around you or something, because unlimited stamina on modded servers, you're getting away majority of the time. All these little things, And as I always say, if you survive that, you're going to survive anything. So
Well, that's
go and do that. Why not? Why not play the games it's intended to be played? If you want something extra, go to modded.
And that's it. And there's, obviously there's not more choice with the mod and different maps and that. And it's like, you've played like maybe 100 hours or so in Cherno or Livonia. And maybe you play Cherno first and you're like, oh, I feel like spend a bit of money, get Livonia. Try that out for like the bunkers or whatever else. Now, you've played a fair bit of DayZ. Now it's like, oh, I'm going to try out Namalsk or Deer Isle or Kimsey or Iztek or Banov or any of those kind of maps. And then it's like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. And maybe you'll find more reasons to play the game. And this is the thing. I've seen a lot more comments, especially lately. And it I wouldn't say it upsets us, but it just kind of like nags at us. But you'll see a lot of people shitting on the console people because, you want more content, play PC. It's like, no, that's not what you should be going about. You should be giving them, to me, you should be giving them ideas on how to enrich their experience on console. Because yes, they are limited compared to PC, but don't belittle them because they're playing on their preferred platform. Yeah, sure, PC Master Race, all that kind of stuff, and I've openly shat on consoles at the same time, but it's a joke. But there's some people that actually seriously think this, and it's like, bruh,
it's a slightly different. It's a slightly different experience, slightly different infantry wise and other bits, but it's the same thing. It's pretty much exactly the same thing. Other than the fact that you've got a handheld controller or you've got a mouse and keyboard, isn't it? So ideally,
we're all at the end of the day going towards we're working towards the same goal here. We're all doing the same stuff. It's still DayZ.
It is. Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. We're all playing the same game. We're in the same community, and that's all that should matter at the end of the day, because we're all just here to support each other. And enjoy the game we've been given. So.
And at the end of the day, we're all here to kill an unsuspecting freshie on the coast and eat his guts.
Yep.
There you go. That's DayZ. But yes, sure. Yeah, well done. Yeah, exactly. I do need me some freshy cheeks. No, but yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it is what it is. But just play DayZ how it's intended before you start to delve into other things. And heck, playing unofficial might even give you a reason to get into the modding side. Maybe it's like, I don't like the way this is going out, but make a mod. Learn how to make mods. I'll eat your guts, law, squeeze them off for the iron brew. You ain't gonna do shit to me, boy. It's in my blood. But yeah, so last week we introduced a new segment that I actually quite liked, and Cobra helmed that idea, and it's a thumbnail of the week. Have you got one for this week, my guy?
Well, this is okay. So there wasn't an awful lot of lot of content like there was a few weeks back, but then we had a bit of a 2-week break, didn't we? But there is obviously quite a few videos out. I mean, always streaming. It's a simple thumbnail, but I'll tell you what, their latest video, I think it came out yesterday. It's just something about the thumbnail that actually looks really well done, as it is a simple thumbnail, but it's well done. I just love the actual thumbnail itself. It does look pretty cool. And the actual video is good as well. So obviously for those people that do tutorials and like to help people out, it's a very good video. So definitely worth checking it out. And it's obviously the latest one of their videos, so it'll have all of the new bits and pieces included, like the newest updated bits and pieces that you need to go and have a look at. So I did have a little look at that, and I think that's my video of the week so far. Thumbnail of the week, video of the week, both of them.
So I have been meaning to watch a little bit more of like Always Streams content. I really have been meaning to. Why am I not even subbed to him? That's disgraceful behaviour. I just checked this channel, I'm not subbed. Oof, naughty.
That's
But-
the thing, that is.
I actually like looking just at his thumbnails here. I really quite like the design.
That's what I'm saying. They do stand out, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And
It reminds me of Archie's a little bit as well.
yes, actually, that is a good point.
They are quite on the same kind of wavelength, I think. But they're simple and they stand out. Gives you what you need on the thumbnail.
And sometimes that's all you need to do. And to be fair, I love Archie's hail hydration. I love Archie's thumbnails. I really do. I'm just looking at them now with like GPS receivers on the ultimate trapping guide for DayZ and stuff like that, and really nice designed, easy to understand, simple to come across, very nice. And then you go all with streams, and it's eye catching. Easy to understand, nice and colourful, doesn't contrast badly. It's really, really awesome.
And don't forget, a lot of people right now who have done tutorials previously are starting to ask those questions to their community. I've seen 3 or 4 tubers at the moment putting it out there to their community who wants to see the updated versions of my latest, my last tutorials. So for me, quite frankly, I think a few people are going to be doing those. I've seen about 3 or 4 different variations of them, which is good. A friend of mine, Sliverin, is in preparation for doing one as well right now, which is going to be his first. So that I've seen a preview of it, and it actually looks really, really good as well. So I do think there's an obvious need for that now because so much has changed since a lot of them are about a year old. The old ones, I don't know how old Archie's are, but I think, did he put one out recently? I'm sure he put one out recently.
A couple of weeks ago, I think.
A couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah. And obviously, Always Streaming put one out yesterday. So this will be fresh. Those 2 videos will be fresh off the shelf for those of you that are looking for your latest tutorials. So go check those out.
Hell yes, absolutely. Oh, you've got the channel. Thanks, Lemons. Much appreciated there. Archie did one this week, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I've just checked his channel, and it's $1 the price of fantasy Archie Stormcloud membership advertisement, and I can see women in the thumbnail, so that'll entice people. Archie has the only hard server. I do quite like the Temblor servers, actually. I really actually do. They're not too bad at all. Oh,
Yeah,
Temblors?
very
How
good.
am I thinking Temblors? Sorry. Thereafter. Bloody hell, Jesus Christ, lad. Silly boy. I mean, and I can see here you're putting in the agenda, video of the week, Beans recognised by the DayZ dev team for a latest video, which was actually quite awesome to see. I never managed to see Beans. I never managed to speak to them when they were on the show previously, and I love that thumbnail.
Yeah. Good as gold.
It's brilliant. Nice little detail, actually. And the video
Real quick
itself.
before the video starts.
And the video itself is 23 minutes long. And the fact that it got recognised by oh my god, you can't see anything. No, you can't.
Oh, you killed the source, lad.
Yeah. Hey, technical difficulties. I love it. But the fact
There
is
you
that,
go.
this video,
There you go.
it got shown off in the community spotlight, which by the way was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a really good job with that one.
And
I think this is our second showing on there by the devs, isn't it? I think this is the
I
second
think
time she's
so.
been. Yeah.
I think so, definitely.
I think this time she's the main video number 1, isn't she, on that at the moment? So yeah, done a really good job of it.
She absolutely has. I need to actually sit down and watch her videos, to be fair. I really do need to sit down and watch them. But it's nice to see content creators getting
getting a little bit of a look in there as well. You know, I noticed there's a new one, Centurion, I think his name is, a new up and coming as well. You know, it's nice to see us content creators getting a little bit there as well. So that's good to see. And of course, I always shout out the new ones as well, the new up and coming. So well done, you guys. Keep going. There's room for everyone.
Not in this town, boy. Can be only me.
Don't listen to that. There's room for everyone. You carry on.
Please listen to me. No, but it is awesome to see content creators, new and old, still getting recognised for their efforts.
Yes.
And just striving to make more ideas work. That's kind of like the main thing,
24-hour stream when, lad?
Okay, I checked on Reverend's Discord to see when I actually done it last year, and it was the 26th of November. Now you may be thinking, does that mean that's going to do it? Am I fuck? Not a chance. I can't afford to take time off working anymore. Can't do it. Actually, I don't need to take time off work. It's Saturday. Oh shit, it's Saturday. Oh dear, it's a Saturday. Oh no, does this mean I have to do it now?
Put some lab chats in the chat if you guys want to do another 24-hour stream.
No.
Yep. Get those lad champs in the chat. Come on, guys.
do you even know the story of my 24-hour live stream, Cobra?
I did hear a little bit, mate, but I think you need to fill us in again with the exact.
Back when Sumrak was streaming the Mask last year, Dancer Jesus and we made a bet about how many times Sumrak can die. And I believe... I can't remember the exact nature of the bet, but it was something around 7 deaths. I think I bet Sumrak will not get more than 7 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
DOJ bet under. If DOJ won, I would have to do a 24-hour live stream on the Mask. I lost the bet.
Of course.
Naturally, because Sumrak decided to die 5 times within 30 minutes.
Absolutely, that sounds good.
Like good. The arsehole he is. So, on the 26th of November, I started a 24-hour live stream because I lost the bet. Had a bunch of people tuning in. And I was really hoping that I was going to get to at least... I believe this is like A3 had not long been introduced.
Mm-hmm.
I barely got to the Southern Islands in 24 hours.
You are joking.
My performance was literally piss poor. And it was a good laugh. It was really fantastic. But I prepped really badly and I was ill for like 2 or 3 days. Because I decided like binge on like energy drinks and like sweets and whatever else, and it was like, nah, I needed proper meals.
So basically, you pretty much killed yourself.
Yeah.
For a couple of days. Yeah, brilliant.
And
okay, how long did it take to recover from that?
Like I said, at least a couple of days, at least properly.
Screw a 24-hour stream. Jesus.
But I said to people, I'm never going to do another one again. Never, not a chance. Never. And earlier this year, I stupidly said, oh, maybe, for the 1-year anniversary, I'll do another one. Maybe other people could join us, and maybe I'll set something up. And I realised it was November. And then I realised, oh, shit, when's the 26th? And now I just realised just now, oh, shit, it's a weekend.
Well, you know what you could do, didn't you? You could have time frames. So instead of you doing a whole 24-hour, you could have you doing 6 hours. The next one comes on the same stream, maybe from a different angle, different view from their view, but on the same server, same stream. Team of 4, there you go. Have a couple of hours break in between, but someone else carries it on.
I could do it. That could work. Maybe I'll do it on the 26th. We'll see. I'm still contemplating whether I should actually do one, but apparently the lad champs in chat kind of prove people want that a little bit. You're all dicks.
There you go. There you go.
Sounds like
I'll add to that as well.
sounds like a podcast team stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
And they wrote me into it as well, wouldn't
You're part of us now, boy. No, but maybe
we'd have to make it interesting. We'd have to make it interesting, lad.
I would just be happy if I get a bloody A2. As long
So
as
what if we
OBS
get-
doesn't crash, yeah.
So what if we get to Lanzia in the first 6 hours?
Oh mate, I'd fucking cry.
Then what? Then what?
Looks like we're staying here for the next 18.
And the portal closes, like happened to me once, and I stayed there and died. Brilliant. Yeah. Love it.
Yes. Was that on live, by the way?
Some of it was, yeah. I think no, it was in my The Mouse series. Yeah, no, that was a video recorded, but I did do one, and I got stuck in Lanzia. The portal closed. I entered too late. Portal closed. Had to suit everything, obviously. Brilliant. Dead.
I would have been scared, mate. I still haven't got an Atlantia. One day I will. Maybe on the 26th.
You'll get it, mate. You'll get it.
Yeah, of course I will.
Doable.
Aye. But with that, I think that'll be the end of tonight's show. But before we do finish, spotlights. What's been your spotlights for this week, guys?
What's Lemon's got to say on that?
Yeah, considering you went bloody here last week.
So, I'd say my spotlight this week's gonna be Don Sibley Games. A lot of you guys know him. He's a Australian content creator, and he used to do a lot of DayZ videos and tutorials, specifically for like the console modding side.
Yeah.
And recently, he's finally come out of hiatus and stopped damn playing Fortnite and started making some DayZ content again.
Yeah, he stopped playing Fortnite finally. Took his time, Jesus.
No, if you guys haven't seen him yet, he's an amazing guy. He does amazing tutorials, and he's started making new tutorials, and he's starting from square one and doing everything over again, so everyone has a new and fresh experience when it comes to DayZ modding. So if you haven't already, I'd definitely recommend checking out his channel. I think he might be streaming tonight, but regardless, I'll be sending over his Twitch and YouTube links.
Sounds good.
But yeah, what about you, Cobra? What do you have for your spotlight?
I'm going to go with, I think I can't say anything other than my little detour trip to Memento Mori. I think my personal favourite part for the week was the right decision to kill myself live on stream. So there you go, come and get a gear. I think that was my favourite moment of the week, I think.
Nice. God. That must have been brilliant, though, to be fair. Mine's
The
dumb.
community.
No, it's actually not the community this time, Lemons. Shut your shit. It's Dump. It's Dumpgrad getting featured in the community spotlight.
There you go. Well done.
I read this, and I typically skim through in case there's like something I see there that, you know, somebody I know, like maybe sometimes it's like pictures or like posts, whatever else. But he got featured for his video onto it's called How to Mod DayZ in PC, DayZ Tools Image to PEA, how to convert your PNG, like all the file formats to PEA. 10-minute long video, and I'm not subscribing to this account, naughty. And he uses my image in the background. You're giving that trailer a spotlight, maybe. But he goes into depth about image to PEA, how it works, all the information needed, basically how to use it. And it's such a useful, well, it's pretty much a mandatory tool, but the way that Dump does his videos, they're in depth, but they're accurate. He spends a lot of time researching the stuff that he wants to showcase, because he's got like what's the word I'm looking for? Integrity. And he wants to make sure that he can provide proper information to everybody, and it's so awesome that the team recognized that and showed off that video. So props to Dump. Proud of you, mate. Hashtag I hate making timestamps. Yeah, me too. But fantastic, mate. Congrats on you. Much love to you.
Yeah, well done, mate.
And with that is the end of today's episode. Sorry about all the technical issues. Been a bit of a longer one tonight, but it's been a really good conversation. Had a good laugh. Cobra, Lemons, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Lemons, you've still got a week to catch up, so I'll be expecting you to put in some
guys in a
overtime. No, I don't think so. No, but again, thank you very much for both of you coming on. I really do appreciate it. Cobra, you've been fantastic. Lemons, you're alright.
Oh,
That's nice, isn't it?
But I will see you guys next week, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.
Cool.
been a pleasure. You guys take care.
Take care of yourselves,
Take it
guys.
easy.
See you later, chat. Much love to you. Have a good one.